Today on the UltraCycling Magazine show, we are joined by someone who has redefined what's possible on two wheels, and on two wheels built for two. Laura Massey-Pugh is an ultra-distance cyclist and record-setting adventurer. Laura's journey from everyday commuter to world record ultracyclist is a story of grit, curiosity, and the joy of pushing limits. We're excited to dive into her adventures, her mindset, and what it really takes to ride around the world. Now, here are your hosts, Jim and Lee.
Well, hello everybody. This is Jim Lawyer here with the UltraCycling Magazine show, and we've got the great Lee Kreider. How are you today, Lee?
Well, I don't know about great, but I'm here, and just so happy that I am here.
Definitely. How are you feeling after your little bout with the flu?
Well, I'm feeling a whole lot better.
Good.
And so flu just was really mean, but I'm getting over it and starting to function once again.
Excellent. Well, we need you, so don't go anywhere, Lee.
I'm not planning on it. But,
All right. Okay.
Well, I am planning on it because I do plan ahead a little bit. But
there you go. Why don't we let everybody know? Why don't we let everybody know who sponsors or brings the wonderful show to you?
Yeah, let's pay some bills.
The UltraCycling Magazine show is brought to you by the Race Across America time stations in Ohio. 41 Oxford, 42 Blanchester, 43 Chillicothe. We would also like to thank the sign man, Mike Minium, for all the route signs in Ohio. They make great souvenirs. Be sure to pick one up at any of the Ohio time stations. $10 gets you a great keepsake and lets us put one more on the route next year. For more great content, be sure to follow us on Facebook. Click that like, hit the subscribe button, and ring that bell on YouTube.
Well, thanks to Virtual Gregory, we got that little bit in.
Yeah, that's working pretty good. I have to say, I do want to add here that Jim is picking up a lot more of the slack around here. Me being the slack that Jim's
never, Lee.
No, you are, and I appreciate that because, well, we won't get into all the details, but Jim, let's just say Jim is doing more of the work. And I really appreciate that because it's a great help. I do a lot of stuff behind the scenes, and so does Jim. And well, it's like the tip of the iceberg, Jim.
Oh, definitely. We understand, and we make time, and we appreciate you and getting this whole thing rolling many years ago, and twisting my arm. So awesome.
Yeah. Well, let's learn what's next about RAM or what.
Yeah, definitely. Let's get to the RAM updates. We'll start that going since it is getting closer to RAM this year. So here we go.
Oh, yeah. Something big is going to happen here soon, too.
As of January 11th, 2026, here are the current number of registrations for Race Across America, Race Across the East, and Race Across the West 2026. RAM has 29 total racers registered, 1 two-person team, 2 four-person teams, 2 eight-person teams, and 14 solo racers. Race Across the West has 13 total racers registered, 3 two-person teams, and 7 solo racers. Race Across the East has 8 total racers, 1 four-person team, and 7 solo racers. For all of you registered RAM, RAW, and RAE racers and crew members, or anyone that is thinking about racing this year, the 2-day online seminar is fast approaching. It is coming up on Saturday, January 31st and Sunday, February 1st. These are a great source of information for newbies and veterans alike. Both racers and crew can get a lot of great tips and tricks, as well as what to do and not to do to have a successful race.
Jim, I agree. I think anyone who is participating should join this seminar. Even if you have attended in previous years, there always is something new to learn.
That's correct, Lee. I have come away with new information every year I have participated. It's also a great place to ask those questions you have about anything RAM, RAW, RAE related. So make sure you register soon to be part of this great learning experience. So you and your crew can be much better prepared for this year's races. Just scan the QR code on the screen or follow the link in the show notes to register.
Well, that went very good, Lee. I'm glad that we're going to be replaced by AI shortly.
Yeah, I kind of miss going to the personal meetings with these people, but
oh, definitely.
I understand why we do things by Zoom and what have you anymore. It's just more efficient.
Yeah, but it's a great time, and like I said, there's a lot of things to learn.
Yeah,
and you get to see some of your fellow racers and crew and people you haven't seen in a long time. So it's a great time. So you want to tell us who's next week, Lee?
Well, next week we're going to have a recorded show with Amit Samarth. You know, we kind of had a little technical problem with Amit. We were going to have him on back in was it November, January?
Yep.
Well, the technical problem was Amit didn't have a power supply for his laptop with him. I guess that's a technical problem. And so we recorded him, and we're going to play that recording. It'll be a recorded show next week, so there won't be any chat back and forth. And we do have some other great shows coming up. The week after, Cindy Yoff, I want to mention her from Malaysia. That's going to be a new person for us and a new part of the world. Well, I think we've had somebody on from Malaysia once before, but as we try to grow in Southeast Asia, Jim.
Definitely.
And then we'll have Dr. Vince back on to talk about some stuff too.
Definitely. That's the upcoming shows are going to be great.
Check out the calendar at ucm.bike, and you can see some of that coming up.
Definitely. And for everybody out there watching, the chat is live. So post your questions or comments.
Yeah, we want to hear from you, folks. And if nothing else, just tell us where you're at. And we promise not to embarrass you or anything.
Definitely. We'll give you a shout out.
Just type something in your comments section there, and we'll see it. Okay?
All right. Any other news, Lee, this week?
Or? I don't have any other news. We do post some news from time to time on Facebook, our Facebook page, so be sure to check that out.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Well, I think it's time to get to our wonderful guest this week. What do you think?
I think so.
All right.
Let's go over to England and find Laura Massey-Pugh over in England. How are you today, Laura?
I'm very well, thank you. Thanks so much for having me on.
Over there.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah, we appreciate having you with us. What's the weather like over there today?
It's just started to warm up a bit. We've had a bit of snow and a bit of ice, so it's suddenly gone all a bit slushy.
Yep, we're right there with you in Ohio today.
I mentioned this last week. I'll mention it again. I think it's worthwhile. I contacted Laura because I saw an article or a piece of news about what is it, the grit or something. And we'll talk about it later. Don't put that thing up, Jim.
No.
About this program. And so I have a video call, and I have to apologize, Laura. You helped us out by making a short, and I'll blame this on the flu. I just kind of threw me for a row of stumps for a while. I didn't get it put up, and you were so gracious to do that for us, and I just didn't use it. So,
oh well, I'm here now.
Yeah, it just I said
live and in person.
We'll blame that one on the flu. Better than blaming it on myself. Any rate, so we're having this video chat, Jim. You weren't there. I reviewed it. You weren't there with.
Right. Correct.
And talking about this, I said, well, I think that would make an interesting show. And by the way, tell me anything else you've done in the way of cycling? Hoping she might have something interesting. And she says, kind of almost offhand, oh, well, my husband and I have Guinness World Record for circumnavigating the globe on a tandem. And I'm thinking, what? I mean,
That
why
that
don't
just
I know this?
there you go. Exactly.
So,
You're still awestruck, aren't you, Lee?
I just blows my mind, And I've said it before. I've said it again. Ultra cyclist people hide their light under a bushel. I mean, they do not tell people what they've done. You see them walking down the street. They look like some ordinary guy, and we find out this about Laura. Laura, tell us about what was your time? What record do you hold, you and your husband? And maybe we should have had him on too. I don't know.
he's around somewhere, but yeah. So me and my husband Stevie, we hold the mixed Guinness World Record, but it is the fastest record as well. And we circumnavigated the globe on tandem bicycle in 179 days,
Wow.
12 hours and 26 minutes. So yeah, just under 6 months.
There's so many questions to ask about the logistics, Jim, of doing.
Oh, I know. That's what runs through my mind because I know how hard it is just to go down the street with our tandem.
Yeah, Jim can't find his way home sometimes.
There you go.
So where did you start and finish with this race?
Yes, so Guinness dictate you have to start and finish in the same place. So we chose the Brandenburg Gate in Berlin because we wanted to start on the continent in Europe. It just made the routing a bit simpler. And my husband had some family in the area at the time, so it was nice to be cheered off and welcomed back in spectacular fashion. Yeah.
Now, east to west or west to east?
West to east, yeah. So.
Okay, so
prevailing winds.
Then did you touch? What is it? Tell me the points. The contrapuntal points of the globe.
Antipodial points. Yeah. So that's another of the Guinness rules. We have to pass through antipodial points. So ours were Wellington in New Zealand and Algeciras near Madrid in Spain. So we actually didn't get to our first one until over halfway through.
Wow.
Did you hit Spain first, or
no? Spain was dead last. So
the last thing,
in the last few weeks.
So you headed
coming back,
You headed west across Germany and France, or Low Countries, I suppose.
Yeah, well, we went Germany into Czechia, down to Austria.
Okay.
And then kind of
I'm most interested in your crossing the oceans. Just how you did that. What was your ocean crossing first one?
So we'd hoped to get to Azerbaijan and cross the sea there and get into the stands, as it were. But we completed this record in 2022, so it's quite close to COVID, and some of the land borders were still closed.
Mm-hmm.
So we got turned back in Georgia, essentially. So our first flight was actually from Tbilisi to India. And then, but our first, I suppose, actual crossing of an ocean was from India to Thailand and Southeast Asia.
Now, you had to cross the Atlantic.
Yeah.
From where to where?
So we went, we did all of Australia, New Zealand, and then we went from New Zealand and Auckland over to Vancouver in Canada.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay,
and then
you went through Canada.
And, so Halifax, and then Halifax, that would be the island.
Oh, okay.
Halifax to
Vancouver.
Lisbon in Portugal.
Yeah.
I'm getting motions mixed up, aren't I?
Now, what was like? It must have been difficult to fly with everything you guys were carrying to do this. Is that correct? And especially your tandem, is it lugged, or how did you handle that?
Yeah, so I mean, we had to travel dead light anyway. We had 4 panniers on the bike, and the absolute minimum we needed. And we had a wonderful tandem that was custom built by Commotion. and it had couplings, so we're able to split it into two and get it into two cardboard bike boxes that we needed to then acquire at every airport and package it up very carefully and
Yep.
hope for the best.
So,
Yep.
so you didn't have that 8-foot, 8-inch box that I had to get on an airplane.
Well, we couldn't bring it with us, could we? So
No.
yeah, we had a bit of stress trying
Yeah.
to acquire some at every end of every leg. Yeah.
Excellent. What were the logistics behind? I'm assuming, was there any problems getting border crossings and stuff like that? Did you have any problems there?
After Azerbaijan, no, yeah, we're all fine. We did a lot of work in advance preparing visas and things like that, to make sure everything was kind of set and ready to go when we got there. We had kind of the route pretty much, planned out beforehand. We made a few deviations on the way, but yeah, so we're pretty set where we're going and what we're doing. So yeah, it all worked out in terms of visas. Yeah.
Excellent. Lee?
Well, yeah, I'm always interested in the question of how you managed to sleep, where you slept, what kind of gear did you carry with you? Did you do any camping? Did you depend mostly on some kind of um, inn or guest house or something like that? How'd that all work, or was it a mixture of things?
Yeah, so it was a little bit of a mixture. Europe was easier for camping, although we did use some hotels there as well. Camping wasn't really possible in India and Southeast Asia, so that was a lot of hotels, motels. And then when we crossed the Nullarbor Desert in Australia, there was times we had to camp because the distances were such that,
Yeah.
we didn't have much choice. So, yeah, we didn't do that much camping. I'd say it was probably like 89% hotels and then some Airbnbs, some warm showers, some wonderful people just helping us out as well.
Yeah.
So,
Now, did you plan for a specific number of miles per day, or did you just kind of have places you wanted to hit?
Yeah, we kind of had a rough plan of like our timeline, but we always knew we'd have to have some kind of flexibility day to day because all it would take would be a massive headwind and it would absolutely cut down our mileage, or we got one day with absolutely blistering tailwinds through the prairies in Canada and we absolutely flew and got a lot further than we could have ever hoped. So yeah, we had to have quite a degree of flexibility, but we had our flights kind of pre-booked and set to try and keep us on the track because our aim was always to complete the trip in under 180 days. We would have actually got the record if we'd taken longer, but we wanted to kind of pitch it at our very best effort. So that was kind of the main goal for us.
Excellent. Let's take a step back. What got in your mind to do this record attempt?
Yeah, so my husband's been a long distance cyclist since he was 11 years old. I think it's the first time he rode 100 miles. And I've always ridden a bike. I've commuted on a bike, but it's only when I met him and he kind of introduced me to like the sportier side of cycling. He got me into audaxing, which I believe is worldwide as well. So yeah, we did some audax long distance rides together. And as an introduction, he started off doing those with me on the Tandem. So we were kind of, matched in terms of pace and things like that as well. He was there to support and help me. And then it kind of escalated from there and we were doing more and more long distance stuff. We rode Land's End to John O'Groats at like quite a fast pace. We're doing like averaging 100 miles a day then. It's not an easy ride. So it kind of got us thinking. We're like, I wonder how long we could keep this going for. I wonder how long it's sustainable for. And then we looked at the current Guinness World Records, and the fastest record at the time then was actually set by a female pair. So it was actually the female record was the fastest. And we thought that was pretty amazing, but we kind of thought, I think we can go faster as well. So
nice.
Yeah.
Now, being a tandem rider, as both Lee and I are, how do you handle the interpersonal relationship for that long of a ride?
Yeah, I mean, there's that saying, I don't know if you've heard it, that whichever way your relationship is going, it gets there faster on a tandem.
Definitely.
Yeah. So I have to say we have a fairly strong relationship.
That's great.
And I think we were both equally so focused on the record. It wasn't my husband's idea, it wasn't mine idea. It's kind of this joint thing. We both wanted it so badly that we knew that we weren't going to succeed unless we got everybody, me, him, and the bike across the finish line. So it was a massive team effort. Yeah, it took a lot.
Did you have any mechanicals or anything along the line that are notable?
Yeah, we had a few, and they always seem to come at the worst time. So a few days out from Halifax, we had a problem with the free hub and had to limp that in, and Hope International that make the free hub kind of came to the rescue and got one airmailed out and everything. So that was a bit like biting your fingernails. Are we going to make it? And then probably the biggest one was it's like less than 24 hours out from the end, and rear wheel bearings were giving up at that point.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, it was like we thought we were going to make it, and then it became very apparent that we weren't, so we had to get those replaced. I think we're about 120 140 miles off the completion, but if we'd have taken any longer, we'd have missed our goal that we'd worked so hard for. So yeah, it was right to the line, as it were.
There you go. Now, on your co-motion, do you have chain drive or a belt drive on the other side?
It's a belt on the other side, so
Okay,
we've
that's
got a belt
what we have.
crossover. Yeah, and that worked really well.
You had a chain on the back.
Yeah, we had a train for the derailleur.
And a belt,
train on the back, belt drive.
No, for your tandem. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Excellent. Lee?
Weight wise, you have any idea how much weight your bike and gear ran?
Oh, I must get this right around. So I think the bike's about 20 kilos kg, and I think we were carrying about 22 before, like a lot of food and water. So we certainly carried a lot more than that through the isolated stretches, like
that's pretty lightweight. I suppose when you were camping, you were going pretty minimalist.
Yeah, so we had a really lightweight tent. It was purposely very light and very lightweight kit. But we didn't have anything, we didn't take anything that we didn't need.
Had you traveled the world much before this?
Nothing like this.
I mean, you've been to Asian countries that you've been to?
Yeah, I mean, we'd been on holiday to Asia. We'd never been to Australia or New Zealand. That was completely new. I'd been to Canada a few times. And we'd done quite a lot in Europe. We did quite a lot of tandem touring in Europe, so we're kind of used to that. But yeah, there was a lot of new experiences. And what we found very quickly as well was we were going off the beaten track. So we were ending up in places that weren't necessarily expecting, tourists or people from abroad. We were quite a novelty in some places, shall we say.
Yeah. What was your favorite area to ride through?
Oh, wow. I mean, we saw so much. I mean, New Zealand was just absolutely stunning. It was so beautiful, but it was kind of heartbreaking as well, because we were there we did both islands in 8.5 days. We absolutely flew through it. So it was a real shame, because I wanted to see more. And the Rockies in Canada as well were just absolutely immense. They were amazing, but really hard work. Really hard work.
How did you guys handle the hills or the mountains on the tandem?
Very slowly.
Well, Jim and I are both tandems. We understand exactly what you're talking about.
There you go.
You gotta have a lot of patience. Yeah.
There you go. And the right gearing.
Yeah.
Somebody said you could plow corn with those gears, and I said probably so. I don't know, but food. What diets are you vegan, vegetarian, or how did you deal with food? Did you run any food problems?
Not food problems as such. I mean, we're both very much omnivores, so we're kind of lucky that we can eat anything and everything. We try to maintain like quite a balanced diet, eating, like real food. It wasn't always possible. We had to take what we could sometimes, but we're quite conscious we needed to stay healthy in terms of getting the vitamins and, keeping good nutrition. Stevie actually, he picked up a parasite in India. which we didn't know about till Thailand. And so he got quite poorly and he lost quite a lot of weight. So that was a real problem, and we're really trying to like build him up and keep the weight on him. He's so I'm about 5'2" in height. He's like 6'3", so there's quite a difference in. So he needs a lot more calories than me.
Oh, you're still,
Yeah, so it's quite a big deal to try and keep him fed and keep him healthy, and it led to a lot of other problems later on in the
despite
ride.
that, you still maintained a rather remarkable pace.
Definitely.
Yeah, Jim.
Now, on the bike, are you the stoker or the pilot or what? And what was the deal there?
Yeah, so I'm stoker.
Okay.
Yeah, people always ask if we swap places, but it's not really possible. The tandem's custom built for our sizing.
Right.
So Stevie's seat is about my shoulder height. So
You can go faster that way because your pilot's breaking more wind and
Yeah.
cutting through the wind, I should say, I guess.
Yeah, and he's stronger as well. He's
so
straight on the front of the
so
bike.
you could make it go faster back there. That's what Jim.
There you go.
That's why they go so fast, is because
April.
it's not April. She's just a tiny little thing, so she has no wind resistance to speak of.
There you go.
Oh yeah, I like
any of the bugs or
The
anything.
dirty secret is he couldn't keep up with April.
That's right. That's why you went to tandem.
I like to say it's rear-wheel drive.
There you go.
Power on the back.
Yeah, it well, my wife has dementia, and we have once a month brunch at the facility. And I was there today, and I mentioned the one thing that gets her. I'll mention some of our tandeming adventures, and she just brightens up and talks about how much fun we had. And I wouldn't, I think we could have had a bigger house, we could have had better furniture, we could have a newer car, all those things. Probably if we hadn't spent the money we did. But my Lord, as I was thinking today, what would we have to talk about? She wouldn't remember the cars or the furniture or anything. But when I mentioned that tandem and something had happened, well, thank God for it. Just thank God for it. And you will, in the years ahead, Laura, I can tell you, never forget those things.
Great memories. Yes, definitely.
Never forget
we
those
definitely
things.
have a lot of memories.
There
Yeah.
you go. What kind of weather did you run into over this 179 days? Was it, extreme to extreme, or did you plan it where it was going to be relatively the same as well as it could be?
Yeah, we did our best to try and pick the best weather, whatever
Right.
that is. But obviously, India, Southeast Asia are very hot. We had some unseasonably heavy monsoons in India, which was like an ongoing problem, trying to keep everything dry.
Yeah.
And then, Canada got really, really cold. We missed all the snow. We were kind of ahead of that as we kind of planned to be, but it's still down to like -10 at times. So, it's we got a bit of everything essentially. And then by the time we got back to Europe, it was kind of our winter and November time, and it was wet and cold and horrible, and there was no daylight, and it was really kind of tough last few weeks.
I haven't seen any comments yet, Jim. Have you?
Nope, I have not.
Hey, type something in out there, folks.
Definitely. Say hi.
Yeah. Well, 180 days, that's half a year. 179. Let me be accurate here. I don't want to take a day away from you.
There you go.
You're a veterinarian, and I have my, I have to say, he's not there.
He was there.
Yeah, he was looking out the window.
He's here. He's at the other end of the couch. Riley's here, and he loves his vet. You loves to go to the vet, by the way. One of those, I hear other stories, but how did you guys get 6 months out of your life to do this?
I took some time out essentially, so it was a big sabbatical for me. And then kind of came back and had to pick up a new job and get settled in again. So yeah, it was a big deal. It was a once in a lifetime thing. Yeah.
There you go. There he
Oh,
is.
There he is,
He's out for the count.
Riley.
Speaking of animals, did you run into any animals on your trip that caused you issues or any strange occurrences?
Not really. I'm trying to think of any now. I mean, we're quite cautious of the bears in Canada because
Mm-hmm.
that's like something that's completely foreign to us. That the thought that you could just bump into a bear, but we're quite relieved not to see any. We saw like kangaroos and stuff in Australia, which was just amazing.
Yep.
And Southeast Asia, they've got these massive like water monitor lizards that would come like shooting out the bushes and things.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was quite impressive. But like Australia, by the time we were there, all the like creepy crawlies and snakes and stuff was still asleep, so that was pretty good.
Yep.
So yeah, we didn't have any alarming wildlife encounters.
Gotcha.
Some of the dogs in Europe are quite feisty, but
Did you stick to mainly roads, or did you do bike trails, or a mixture of both?
roads whenever we could.
Okay.
We needed all the speed we could get. We
Yep.
had a few misdemeanors. In India, we learned very quickly that you needed to stick to like the national highways because otherwise it would just be a dirt track and puddles and yeah. And I got taken astray a few times in Australia. I think I had to do like a really quick reroute for some reason. I forget why. And I got taken by Google Maps down a track that petered out into a grassy field and
You go.
resulted in a bit of diversion and
But Australia
a
is
few
beautiful.
crosswords from Stephen.
Yeah, Australia's a beautiful place to get lost, though.
It is. But when you're in a hurry,
Yeah.
it's like you feel
Well,
like
Laura-
every minute counts.
Laura not only gets from the bike, he gives as well.
Mm-hmm.
And we will talk about that. I know that you, I believe the notes tell me that you had been on the PVP and the LEL staff, or have helped with that, or had you done
Just
PVP?
LEL, just LEL. I've done PVP.
Okay.
Yeah, so I wrote that in.
So you have
2019?
given back there, and I always appreciate it. When you see somebody, you think, well, they could be out riding, but here they are giving their time, and that's always appreciated.
Mm-hmm.
But you have a program that first interested me, is why I got in touch with you, is the Pure Grit.
Yeah.
Peak Grit.
Pure Peak Grit, yeah.
Yeah, let me get the name correct there. Because you live not too far from the Peak District, I guess. They're in England.
Yeah, that's it. That's where the name comes
Beautiful, beautiful countryside. So tell us what that is and what your objectives are.
Yeah, so it's a ultra distance cycling event, as you say, based in the Peak District in the UK. It was actually it was founded by a wonderful lady called Elena, and she took 10 women out on the inaugural ride, as it were, and it was just like a group ride, but her ambition was to create the hilliest long distance road ride in the UK. And she did this by creating this really convoluted route up every of these amazing climbs in the Peak District. And yeah, you can see them there. They all went out, rode it together. I think it had 2 finishers out of that group the first time, but many of them came back and, completed it at different times. So it started this bit of momentum, and then she launched it as an event. Sadly, she wasn't able to continue with it, and it passed hands kind of once in between. And then me and my fellow race director, Dave, took it on.
Nice.
So this will be the 3rd year. Third year we've been running it. And yeah, it's quite niche because it is extremely hilly. So it takes a certain sort of person that's willing to take on the challenge, shall we say. But yeah, it's brilliant, and the Peak District is such a fantastic place to ride. We raise money for charity every year. We've had, we have people coming back year on year to have another bash at it and see how far around the course they can get. And this year we've even got a special prologue event to kind of help introduce more women as well, which is something we're really passionate about.
Yes.
It was female founded, but now, there's a lot of these events, there tend to be more men signing up. So we're really keen to kind of encourage some more women to come give it a go.
Get back to the roots of it. Yes.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I've been through the Peak District, and I can tell you, they're not high, but there are some steep little boogers in that.
Really?
Those mountains. I think they make West Virginia seem flat.
Ooh. You have any tandem riders?
Maybe not that extreme, but there are. I remember there's some.
Wow. Do you have any tandems that ride the peak?
Somebody inquired about it this year, and that they're a very experienced couple. So I won't reveal who they are, just in case they decide to give it a go or not.
There you go.
But they've been the only ones brave enough so far. I would hesitate to go on this route on a tandem. I must admit, you need some really good brakes as well. Some of the descents are quite gnarly.
There you go. Wow.
So, as you're watching this, one of the mission statements of UltraCycling Magazine is to support and encourage women in the sport. And that's been our mission from the very start 18 years ago. Was we saw some things happening that really intrigued us, and we thought that ought to be supported. And we know there's not enough. I think I sense that there are more women, and we see women winning overalls in races now, which is I've always thought that could be if we had enough people. What's your advice to a woman? Well, any woman, as to getting into this sport. What are some unique challenges you have, and what's your advice?
I think you often women underestimate themselves. I think they don't know what they're capable of until they try, and I think it's a big hurdle sometimes. Kind of going out on a limb and signing up to these big events that come with a reputation and things like that as well. And that's what we're aiming to do, is make it a lot more accessible. And I think kind of finding the right people to talk to, getting the right advice, and asking all the questions so that they can kind of allay a lot of their fears beforehand. Whether they're worried about having a mechanical, or riding alone, or riding at night, or what they're going to eat. I think there's a lot of kind of information out there now, and because more and more women are, riding ultra distance events, that I think we're all more than happy to, share the advice and provide that kind of level of encouragement. So I think it's kind of dipping your toe in the water as well. I started with Audaxing in Audax UK, and that's a great way to kind of find your feet. And I'm also helping with that, running some events that are more targeted to women this year as well. So there's a lot more ways, I think, now to kind of dip your toe in the water rather than sign up for the biggest challenge on the calendar, as it were. So yeah, I think there's more ways in if you look for them.
Well, Laura, it is said in history, whether this happened or not, I'm not sure, but Alexander leaned on his sword and cried because there were no more worlds to conquer. But after you've circumnavigated the globe, what on earth could you possibly have in mind for the future? But you must have something.
Yeah, I might have a bit of a project for this year. I hesitate a bit because it's not entirely cycling related. So when I got back from around the world, I was looking to do something completely different. I didn't want to be like, oh, can we go do it faster, or can we, you get stuck in the same niche sometimes. So I branched out, and I admittedly branched out to triathlon.
Wow, excellent. It's usually the reverse. Usually triathletes become ultra cyclists.
Yeah.
Generally goes the other way around.
Yeah, so I've got and it's my 40th birthday this year, so I've got quite a big project to see how many triathlons, long distance triathlons I can do in a row up to
Nice.
40. So yeah, that's my next big thing, as it were.
That is awesome.
Well, that's wonderful. Listen, you have been a great guest.
Definitely.
I mean, we really have enjoyed talking with you.
Yep.
You're so much fun, and our best to your husband. Thought several times, well, we ought to try to have him on, but no, we just rather talk to Laura.
There you go. And we know who the real brains on the tandems are.
Yeah,
They're
we
women,
know.
you know. All we do is steer.
there was a move once, Jim, and I apparently fell by the wayside when we were tanning a lot. That they were no longer called the stoker; they were called the rear admiral.
There you
Yeah,
go.
I thought that was a better definition because we know who's in control. Really,
Exactly.
we're just steering that the rear admiral's giving orders. But you've been a great guest.
Yes.
We didn't have a single comment, Jim.
No, but that's maybe
I
because
guess
of
people
time
were
right
so
now.
enamored with what she had to say,
Definitely.
they just couldn't think
They're
of
all
any.
stunned to silence. Yes.
Yeah, didn't want to interrupt.
Quickly in awe, you know.
Yeah, but stay in touch with us. If you're going to do something
yeah.
crazy like that again, let us know, and
Mhm.
maybe we'd like to ride along with you virtually somehow.
Yeah, no,
Um,
definitely. I'm sure there'll be something else in the
I don't
pipeline.
know about this triathlon business, but any rate, yeah, and good luck to you, and
Definitely.
good fortune, and like I said, stay in touch. Thank
Yep.
you all for watching.
Yep. Let me see if we can find
And
Gregory.
next week, we're going to have Amit Samarth from India on, talk about what's going on in India.
Mm-hmm.
So much good things down in that country, and I get news stories every week.
Definitely.
We'll hear about that.
Yeah. Thanks everybody for watching.
You bet. Stay around, Laura. Don't go away.
This is Gregory Zuber thanking you for watching and sharing.
Music by Kevin MacLeod.